Let me hear you say Crux, yeah. Crux, yeah. Let me hear you say Crux, yeah. Crux, yeah. Crux, yeah podcast.
Crux Crawford.
Crux, yeah podcast. What is up? Had a cancellation, so I had to do just a solo episode coming at you. But I think everybody out there is starting to love these, man, because we're getting so many fucking solo episodes. Yeah, it sucks, but I had to cancel. Let me close this door real quick. Gotta close the door, man. Yeah, so I am talking to you. You can't see this because I just did a audio only solo episode, but hey, I got to do what I got to do. Keep bringing episodes every week, trying to do this release date of Tuesday unless something, important is worth putting it off for a day or two, like last week when I had Diego on the podcast. But yeah, coming at you. I got these new arms, and I finally picked a table and some chairs for my actual studio setup that I like. So now I'm rolling with a table and some chairs, and you'll see that when I get the video episode, the new guest, all that stuff's getting ramped up. The end of the year, I'm pretty much gonna, until the end of the year, since we're already in November, I'm gonna roll with just what I got now, and just everything's gonna get set up, man. I'm gonna get the cameras rolling. I'm gonna get my sign is coming for the Crux Yeah sign for the Crux Yeah podcast is coming. So I'm going to get all that dialed in and all that ready to go. And then, yeah, man, I'm going to be fully ready for 2022, rolling in multicam, lighting, table, arms, sign, full blast, ready to go. Getting it set up little by little now until the end of the year, so I can hit the next year strong. Got my little club soda with lime because I love it. My douchebag drink. It's great, man. So Travis Scott this week. That was definitely the news, man. The concert at Astroworld Houston. A couple people lost their lives, unfortunately, and a bunch of people were like trampled and injured at this Travis Scott concert. I think it was at Astroworld from what I saw in Houston. And yeah, man, apparently like the chief of police for Houston came to him before the concert and said that there were some concerns about the way that the concert was set up and everything. And I don't know, they painted as like he chose not to listen to it, or he didn't care about the warnings. But I don't know, man. I don't really know what to think about it because you don't know the inside story. You only know what's being reported from one end, regardless of what end it is, whether it's the end of the police or whether it's the end of the artist. I think that there's still maybe some, I don't know. You just don't know all the details. Or maybe he was thinking about stopping it and his manager said, nah, man, just do the concert. Who cares, and it'll be fine. You just don't know who said what and what the details were, So I don't want to come out the gate and blame him because a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are saying like, oh man, he's a dick. Like he should have stopped that. He should have listened. They warned him. He doesn't care if his fans get hurt. He doesn't care if his fans die. I don't necessarily think that's true, man. I mean, Travis Scott is a huge fucking artist. Like he's very big, you know what I mean? And obviously I'm sure to be at that level, is something that gets to your head on some level. I don't see how it couldn't. I don't think there's one person alive that it wouldn't change kind of how you perceive yourself to some degree. That's not to say that you have to be a dick or you have to be completely egotistical, but I definitely think it changes how you do things. I think it has to. I think when you get to a certain level of fame, you have to your day-to-day life changes. So your mindset has to change about things. Not necessarily like you think you're better than everybody all of a sudden, or you think you're extremely special. I'm not saying that. I'm sure that happens to some people that get really famous, but I think it all depends on how humble you keep yourself and the mindset. But I think either way, you have to change your day-to-day life because everybody's trying to get a piece of you. Everybody's trying to give you advice. Everybody wants to be near you. Everybody wants to be around you. Everybody wants to be in the picture with you. And you got to kind of keep your circle tight, because you know that most of those people are fair weather. You know what I mean? Most of those people are just there because you're a name that you are, and most of them probably weren't there when you weren't anybody yet. So my point is, who knows what the situation was there? You know what I mean? Like, who knows what he was actually thinking or doing, etc. And who was giving him advice off the record, who was giving him advice backstage. I find it hard to believe he was just like, yeah, fuck that, I don't care. Maybe it was like under stressed how big of a situation it would be and how many people would get hurt or could die. I don't think it was presented like, hey man, people are for sure going to die. And he was just like, whatever. Because they try to say in a couple different news reports that I've heard, they try to paint it like, he's like known for doing this and known for encouraging chaos and encouraging fans to rush the stage or break barricades. It's like, well, there's a lot of artists that do that. That doesn't necessarily mean that they don't care if people don't die. I don't know, man. But yeah, that was big news that I heard about today that just was kind of interesting. It was kind of interesting because I immediately, when I heard those kind of reports, I looked at it from both sides. I was like, okay, yeah, that's unfortunate. And if he really didn't care, then that's not good, obviously. That kind of sucks. But then again, you don't know. You don't know who was giving him that information, So that's just the way that I look at it. Had a pretty cool week. Did some comedy, obviously. Tried some new jokes out. Had one that went really well Thursday that I'm definitely going to keep. I've been trying a lot of new shit out that's just been hit or miss the last couple weeks, but I got some good stuff that I tried out last week that did well, so I'm going to keep working on it, keep developing it for this week, so that'll be cool. And over the weekend, I hit the 5-month mark. So here I am, 5 months doing comedy all the way, all in, like I never have before, making it a daily practice with the craft, either performing live, or if not doing that, or writing, or if not doing that, doing the podcast. So it's all about getting devoted to that, getting devoted to the craft of comedy. And yeah, man, it's cool. It feels good. I actually on Thursday night, a buddy of mine, Ryan, who I started with, a whole 5 months ago, which ain't shit, but still, it's, farther in the past. I was newer then than I am now, at least, even though I'm still brand new. And he was like, he hadn't seen me perform, I'd say, in at least 2 months, if not more. And he was like, yeah, you've gotten a lot better. He was like, you've gotten a lot better, man. So that's really cool. That's really cool. The reps are working. The hours that are getting put in are showing. I'm getting what I'm putting into this so far, which is always encouraging. With anything that you're trying to do, that you're working hard at, that you're, putting your mind to, that you're putting any kind of maximum, significant or maximum effort into. It's always good when you see that progress, like when you've been going to the gym and you see that you're stronger, you see that you're more, you see that you got jacked, you see that you're in shape. It's good. It's encouraging. It's motivation to keep going, because the tiny little progress that happens day by day, it's really hard, if not impossible, to notice, because you're always you. You're not going to know until you see a picture, months or years later, or someone sees you that hasn't seen you in a long time. That's the only way that you're really going to be able to know what kind of progress you've made. So that was really cool. And yeah, man. Yeah, we'll see what happens, dude, with the development of that whole concert, like I was talking about. And then it's I don't know, dude. It's not getting as cold here in Dallas-Fort Worth as I thought it was going to, as fast as I thought it was going to, because here we are in November. And it was like nice. It was a warm day today. Like I had to switch the house from heat to AC today, Talk about that for some fucking first world problems, right? I had to switch my magic device that heats my house to the magic device that cools my house and keeps it at a perfect temperature that I like at all times. You spoiled fucking developed country piece of shit. But yeah, man, no, it's weird. I thought for sure, and I don't know. I mean, it's my first kind of go around here, full on experiencing the weather out here compared to LA, you know, now that we're going from summer into fall, full on. And it's not, I thought it was going to get a lot colder here than it is. Right now, it's like, dude, it was fucking nice today, man. It was nice. It was like hotter than 70 degrees, I think, at the hottest point of the day today. Sunny, perfect day. It was great. So, you know, who knows? But, yeah, that was a surprise. Yeah, people that are from here are like, yeah, that's the fucking weather, you idiot. Like, you didn't fucking know that, or you knew? And the answer is, yeah, I'm fucking new. So there's an adjustment period. Give me a break. Pieces of shit. Yeah, dude. And Biden's approval rating is in the fucking toilet. Everybody's like, dude, this motherfucker's not doing anything. Nothing's happening. And then it was at an all-time high. I remember when he was talking about it in the spring, he was like, what he was trying to drive home, he was trying to make it as simple as possible. He was like, we're getting shots in arms and we're sending checks in the mail. Shots in arms, checks in the mail. Shots in arms, checks in the mail. He was like really trying to fucking drive it home. And people like that shit, dude. His approval rating was pretty good, you know. I didn't vote for him. You know what I mean? I didn't vote for Trump either. But let's say you did vote for Biden, then, you know, I think the morale was pretty high. And even if people didn't, I think that generally speaking, it was pretty good. But now it's just fucking obvious. This is exactly what I thought was going to happen. Once again, I could have been totally wrong. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't fucking know. You know, I'm not a fortune teller, but I'm not a psychic. But I was like, dude, this dude's going to take office and then it's just going to fucking be, he won because the world turned upside down, and then he's going to completely be complacent and be the same bland fucking mediocre politician that he's been pretty much his entire career, kind of middle of the road, nothing special, only won by the skin of his teeth because we were in this crazy, exceptional world pandemic freak show of a situation in 2020. And then he's going to just be as bland as fuck and nothing's going to get done. It's the usual status quo. And people are going to fucking hate it once they kind of realize what's going on, you know? So it's interesting, dude. It's interesting to see it. Listen to me going off. Why every time I fucking do this, I turn it into a fucking political podcast whenever I take the helm by myself for a solo episode. What is wrong with me? Why does that always fucking happen? Having guests, having a good time, and then fucking when Crux gets by himself, all of a sudden it becomes a fucking CNN, Fox News, OAN, MSNBC fucking network over here. God damn it. I'm so disappointed with myself, people. It's not even funny. I don't even know. Yeah, dude. It's interesting, man. What is happening with that? Because it's just complete complacency, and it's seeming like nothing's gonna get. Everything's just a fucking back and forth. I don't know. There should be like, you should have quotas where, like, if you get elected, if you don't hit certain objectives, get certain things passed, then like you get vote automatically, you get disqualified from office. Something's got to happen, dude, because you can't just keep having this fucking deadlock, like nothing ever gets accomplished because everything's just 50-50 locked up halfway through a term. The Republicans win or the Democrats win, or whatever the fuck, the two-party system, and everything just constantly is a checkmate. And, you know, you don't get real things that are important done. Either way, for both sides, for people, just generally for people, you don't get things done. You know what I mean? And that's fucked, man, because, you know, there's certain provisions that need to be made. There's certain laws that need to be passed. There's certain progress that needs to be made that's just not made because everything's just completely just fucking locked up. It's in gridlock, you know? Whew. You know, and shit. China, dude. They got the fucking right idea. Just everybody sit at home. We're going to build a freeway this month. I don't know. That's not good either. You know what I mean? Just having total government control, making a decision no matter what the people think. Obviously, that's not good either. There's got to be something better, a better form of, the democratic system than we have now. I don't know. We need it. So hopefully it'll happen at some point. Yeah, dude, I got this fucking hospital bill from when my kid was born that the hospital constantly messes up on. They're like, oh God, I've been through this so many times, dude. They got the account wrong, and then they try to say that we owe them money when we don't. And it's just been an ongoing thing. We got another call about it yesterday, and it's like, dude, I don't even know how to tell these people that they have no idea what they're doing. That's the interesting thing I notice about getting older and like becoming a fucking big boy adult is you realize how full of shit most people and institutions really are, because like when you're younger, like when you're a kid, whatever, you think, oh yeah, like everybody must know what they're doing that's in these jobs and in these positions and working for these companies and having these titles. You get a little older, you get some life experience under your belt, and you realize, nah, it's all bullshit, man. Anyone is at risk of having no idea what they're talking about and doing. And I'm not talking about necessarily like a fucking professor who has a doctorate in a certain field of research and they've devoted 10 plus years or more, 20, whatever of their life to it. They've written books. That's one thing if you're an expert on a subject. I'm talking about if you are if you're a hospital administrator or you run some department in some company or, you're an airline or you're whatever. No, man, people sometimes drop the fucking ball and they don't pay attention to shit, and you have to catch them. You have to make sure that you're looking out for everything and you're taking everybody's, I don't want to say taking everybody's inventory. It's a fucking AA term, but you got to make sure that you're watching that everybody's T's are crossed and I's are dotted, man. Not just yours. Obviously, you got to make sure your shit is in line, but you got to make sure you realize what people are doing, why they're doing it, and if it's right. Because a lot of time, people aren't fucking right. They have no idea what they're doing. They're completely full of shit, and they're just letting confidence mask the fact that they're completely ignorant in what they're doing. You see that time and time again. That happened with the Great Recession. The whole idea was like, oh yeah, these Wall Street guys and these hedge fund managers and shit, they all know what they're doing. So let's just hold back the regulation and let them do their thing because they're the experts. They're the money men. And lo and behold, they had no idea what they were doing. And the whole thing was a big fucking fraud. And everybody was just stealing from everybody. And there was everybody was breaking the rules and stuffing as much money in their pockets as possible. And no one knew what the fuck was going on. I remember, dude, I've worked for so many fucking jobs I've had, dude, in sales, like in the car business, or like when I was in college for a little bit, I worked at a fucking mortgage broker, just like working on leads and passing them over to loan officers, getting people to refinance their homes and their mortgages. And there were people there that I was like, oh yeah, this guy, he wears a suit to work every day and he passed some test to become a loan officer. He must know what he's doing. Wrong. There were guys that had no fucking idea what they were doing. And it turns out no one had any idea. And the whole thing was a big sham. And the whole thing was just a big scam that everybody got away with cheating the system with in a big way, And, it is what it is. In every profession, you know what I mean? Like I've had a lot of jobs, you know what I mean? And the whole key is you work smart. You don't work hard. That's a tried and true kind of statement for me. And it can be cliche, it can be cheesy, but it is true in my book. It's like there's a difference between just like blindly like just fucking working your ass off in a way that might not be fully productive, and there's a way in doing the right things in the right order and getting things done more effectively. That's working smart. Working hard is just blindly fucking applying elbow grease to something that might not actually be the best way to do something. There might be a better, easier, shorter way of doing something that's actually more effective, And I understand that. Every job, every trade, every profession has those work smart, not hard little hacks to it, okay? I'm not arguing with that, and I fully agree and believe that. But, you got to keep people in check at the same time because everything is susceptible to people just fucking up and dropping the ball. Dude, I've done that. Like there's certain things that we used to tell customers were mistakes when I worked in finance. And it's just simply, it wasn't a mistake. It's just, yes, there was a mistake made, but it's not being corrected because it's like a lot of stupid bitch work to fix it and no one wants to do it. So everybody just keeps pushing it to the side and it doesn't get fixed for a customer. Like something doesn't happen, a contract doesn't get rearranged just because no one wants to do it, because no one's getting paid to do it and they don't want to have to do it to fix someone else's mistake. So the buck keeps getting passed and the hot potato keeps getting tossed around and no one wants to do it. So you just got to watch out for that shit. You just got to be careful, dude, because, there could be a chance that it's just fucking, the buck's just getting passed, So I don't even remember how I got on that fucking tangent. But anyway, there's a lesson for you, everybody. Nuggets of wisdom just getting dropped on you on a Tuesday night. Yeah, what else is going on? I got the studio set up. Fucking food, cost on food's going up. I don't know. That doesn't really, I've seen it go up and I'm sure it affects people in a lot of big ways. Hasn't really affected me in a crazy big way, at least yet. But we'll see, dude. We'll see. Weird times with these supply chains, dude. It's fucking crazy. It's gonna, they're talking about it's gonna get maybe like a year or so more to get sorted out, to get everything back to quote unquote like normal, in terms of like things being available and, shipping times happening and everything like that. And it's a wake up call, for everybody that we gotta make more stuff here and have local supply chains. So when there's like a pandemic or when there's something crazy that stops the world, we can still make shit and get it to each other. It's important. That's one thing that the last year and a half has revealed, that shit is very important. I feel like I'm lecturing everybody now. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, I didn't really talk about this too much because I had Diego on last week, but the Halloween was cool. Halloween was fun. Passed out candy. A lot of trick-or-treaters over here. And it was a lot of fun. It was an interesting Halloween because it was the first Halloween kind of doing the full-on parent thing. Last year was one of those too, but it was weird because there was COVID and I was in California and everything was locked down. So Halloween was basically canceled. So that didn't even feel like it counted because, my kid was a newborn baby. He technically was alive at the time. But because COVID was basically canceling everything, especially in California, it didn't really count. So this was like the first year where Halloween was some form of normal. And it was like the first Halloween as a parent. So that was pretty interesting. And that was definitely different. It was a lot of fun, though. I looked forward to it. I enjoyed the night. And it was a lot of fun. I really liked hanging out. We took the kid, the little toddler, took him around to a couple houses in our little street here. And that was about it. He was done, because he's walking, but obviously, those tiny steps he's taking, that's a lot of energy to go around halfway around a block, So, put him in his little costume and walked him around. That was cool. That was a lot of fun. Weather was nice. There wasn't any rain. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. So that was really fortunate. Everybody in this neighborhood, they go out. The trippy thing about this neighborhood is everybody sits outside. Like everybody sets up shop out front of their house. Because I was noticing that even though our house was really decorated, we decorated pretty heavily for Halloween because obviously that's how we roll. And I would notice that kids started to walk by our house. I was like, dude, we got 4 bags of fucking candy to hand out, man. We can't be getting passed up. And my wife was like, no, there's no way because we're decorated and we have the lights on. Like, there's no way. And I was like, no, we got to sit outside. So we set up shop outside just like everyone else in our neighborhood. And then, kids started coming by. We started giving out a lot of candy. So that's something different. I've never seen that before personally, where everybody just sits outside. They have like a little table or they bring some chairs outside. We just pulled the bed of my truck down and just sat in the bed of the truck with the bowls of candy and handed them out. So yeah, that was a different experience. It was interesting. And had fucking Papa John's, man. Shout out to Papa John's. Getting creative with the Halloween time, with Halloween holiday, man. They made these jack-o'-lantern pizzas. They had like a limited time thing through Halloween, obviously, where you'd order like it was like a medium-sized thin crust pizza that they made in the shape of a jack-o'-lantern with like the pepperonis and the eyes and shit, little black olives for the eyes. That was pretty creative, man. I looked it up because I thought it was cool. So we ordered a few of those pizzas, and I was trying to see like if Pizza Hut or Domino's did something creative like to compete with them, and no, not that I saw at least. Papa John's was the only one with the Halloween game stepping that shit up with those jack-o'-lantern pizzas, so I had to get a few of those. That was fucking cool. That was the first year that I've noticed they did that. So I don't know if that's going to be like a regular thing or what, but that was nice. I liked that shit. Shout out for that creativity, that little seasonal tribute. And yeah, that was something fun. I was like, Halloween's my favorite holiday. I got a lot of Halloween shit that decorates the shelves behind me here in the studio. And so anytime anybody does anything with enthusiasm for Halloween, that definitely scores points with me because it's my favorite holiday. And it sucks because now I got to wait 355 more days or whatever the fuck it is, till Halloween. No, I'm not one of those people that counts down the whole fucking year. I'm way too busy for that, especially nowadays. But yeah. Oh yeah, we fucking 76,000 monthly listeners on the We Are the Flesh side of things, on the music tip of things. So thank you very much for that, keeping our numbers up on Spotify. The Purge over the weekend, this last weekend, hit over 1 million streams. So that's the third song to hit 1 million plus streams, which they all kind of happened together. Because I think Pull It Back hit maybe like a month ago or so, maybe 2 months. I can't fucking remember. It's very recently though. And then This Hell was right after, and now we got The Purge that followed shortly after that. So that is fucking cool. Thank you so much, any We Are the Flesh fans that are listening. Really appreciate that. 3 songs, 1 million plus. The catalog, that puts that at probably close to well over 5, 6, 7 million plus, something like that altogether with all the tracks combined total. Just on Spotify, we're talking about, obviously, not counting other platforms. So that's amazing. And thank you so much for that. That happened a lot faster than we thought it was going to. Because we knew at least one track was going to hit 1 million this year, but we didn't think all 3 of them were going to happen like within a month or 2 of each other. So that's really fucking cool to see. And it shows that people are really listening, because that's without any fucking press, half-ass social. That's another thing I got to do next year. So launching, stepping up the Crux podcast, doing it, full on, stepping up the video and, audio game is already pretty good. I already get a lot of feedback from other comics and people that listen to the podcast that I know personally that give a shout out to the high audio quality, except for a couple weeks ago when I talked into the wrong fucking microphone. Other than that, people are like, bro, the audio quality of your podcast is on point. So that's fucking cool. But the video quality is going to match the audio quality with the switching and the camera quality and the lighting and the studio setup. So that's going to be cool. So in addition to putting on Crux, full effect, 100% full throttle into 2022, into next year, we got to step up the social, promotion and the social media interaction on TikTok and, fucking Instagram and shit. On the We Are the Flesh side of things as well. We're going to be ramping up and setting that up to move forward full force for next year as well. So way too busy to, God, man, I'm getting my wires crossed with everything I'm fucking saying. Anyway, got to step up the game on that. My point is, we reached all that shit and have that kind of presence on Spotify with half-assed social media engagement. We're not posting every day. We're not putting up videos every day. We're not making little dumb funny things. We need to do dumb little funny things, but we're not doing any of it. And we still have the numbers that we do. There's no paid playlist promotion. There's no fucking hack in the system. There's no fucking cheating. There's no bots. Never has been. Haven't spent a penny on any of that shit in any way, shape, or form. Hand to God. Neither Andre nor myself, the entire time We Are the Flesh has been around, the 4 years we've been releasing music. And it's all organic. It's all you out there. It's all the fans that fucking play our songs and are fans of our music. So that's fucking cool. And I can say that wholeheartedly, no bullshit at all. It's 100% supported by real fan activity and real listener engagement with this, which is fucking amazing. It really is. Because as lazy and not with the music. We put all our fucking effort and heart and soul into the music. But in terms of social media and fucking around and playing these little games that a lot of different musicians and rappers and bands and groups, whatever you want to call them, do with playlists and, you know, bots and etc. Not saying everybody does it, but I'm saying certain people do. And if you do it, you know who you are. We don't do that shit. And it's really cool to see our numbers and know in our heart of hearts, in our fucking honest mind, when you take away everything and strip away all the bullshit, we know that shit is real. And we know our stats are real. We know the fans are real. We know the numbers are accurate. You know, they're not fluff. They're not embellished. They're not, you guys you're like, dude, we fucking get it. We got what you were trying to tell us 5 minutes ago before you kept going on and on in circles about it. Thank you very much. You're beating a dead horse. Congratulations, bro. You got some streams. You piece of shit. Oh, man. Getting wild with the solo episode in this motherfucker, dude. That's what happens when you talk to yourself in a room alone for half an hour plus. But my glass is getting low, and I know I'm going to wrap it up for you all. But I want to say, man, I see the numbers. Thank you for the downloads, man. You know, thank you for the listeners. I really do appreciate everybody tuning in, even when it's just me fucking boring you to death, rattling you in your car or on your earbuds or wherever the fuck you are with just me and not talking to another comedian or another guest. And I really appreciate you bearing with me before I get my schedule worked out. I got to start scheduling guests out farther in advance so I can fucking schedule people out weekly instead of trying to commit to somebody just the week of. It's my fault for doing that because I don't take into account if someone cancels, then I don't have anything to fall back on because I haven't scheduled anything out. I got another guest that's scheduled to come in on the 20th of this month, so in a couple weeks. But I need to fill in the space with that and then fill in this before that and fill in the space after that too. So that's what I need to get on for the rest of this week because I can't keep having this shit happen. But I really do appreciate it, man. I see the numbers, man. I can see the stats. Anytime you listen to this podcast, I can't see obviously your name, but I can see there's a download there and I can see the location, a lot of the downloads in terms of like the rough city, state, country that it's in. And so I know that you guys are all out there and I really do appreciate it. In Dallas, in Fort Worth, in Texas, in California, in other parts of the US, in fucking Germany, in I think a couple other European countries too. Australia, you know, I see it. I hear you. I see that you're listening and I do really appreciate it, especially on these solo episodes. I see that you guys are playing these boring fucking solo episodes too. And I really do appreciate it. And it's fucking awesome, man. Sincerely from the bottom of my heart, everybody that's listening right now, I do really appreciate you, especially if you made it this far into this fucking solo episode. So with that, man, I'm going to get out of here, but I do appreciate Crux Nation being with me for yet another week. I will be back next time, 99.9% chance with a guest again, and I'm going to get all this shit keep rolling. I hope everybody knows November is going well so far. Keep helping me, as always, build Crux Nation. We're going to keep doing it together. Crux Nation and Crux, yeah.
Let me hear you say Crux, yeah. Crux, yeah. Let me hear you say Crux, yeah. Crux, yeah. Crux, yeah podcast.
Crux Crawford.
You were clout chasing, faking